Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Beyond the Backboard Podcast, episode 21. My name is Omar. Next to me is Max, and it seems like everybody's going out today. If you guys watch my Wano Bros podcast, you'd understand that for some reason, everybody's getting sick. First, RJ was sick. Now, Austin is sick. And now,
No.
Earl is sick.
No,
So,
he's sick/injured.
yeah, he's sick/injured. He's just kind of out of it right now. And I understand. So, he's got to do what he's got to do. But so yesterday, the Knicks won, obviously, but I didn't get your thoughts on it because I didn't hear what you had to say. I don't know if you actually finished the game or if you were busy or
Well, I
anything
watched
like
the
that.
game. I always watch the game, just 3 hours after the fact.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but cool.
Hey,
You're
I was
cool.
busy. I get
No,
to sit down
you
at
know
the end
what?
of the
I
day
respect
and
it.
enjoy the Knicks just demolish the Heat. It was good vibes.
Yeah, you know what? I enjoy it. And I got to say, if Jalen Brunson isn't considered an 1A star right now, what are we saying? Like, it's so obvious at this point. He's the number one on the Knicks. He's a superstar. At least he's trending in that level. This is his 7th year in the league. And he's already averaging close to 27 points a game. I mean, it's amazing. I love it.
Brunson is just him. He is Himothy. He's Himothy Chalamet. He is Himmy Fallon. He is all of the above. He is the superstar that we have waited for, and he will take us to the promised land.
It seems like Christians when they say like Jesus will come back to lead them to heaven or something of that caliber. And then yeah,
I'm just speaking on my boy Jalen.
Yeah.
Jalen spelled the right way. Jalen, the correct way to spell
right?
Jalen.
Thank you. I always thought that was the right way to spell Jalen. I wouldn't think of it as any other way.
I don't know why there's so many Jalens in the NBA. It's just it's a weird thing. There's like 85 Jalens. There's 2 Jalen Williamses on the same team.
Yeah,
so
that's funny. Actually,
if you want your son to play in the NBA, name him Jalen.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, good for them, right? They're all in the NBA, but Randall went out for what I assumed to be instantly like a dislocated shoulder because just the way like he was holding that shoulder, you could kind of tell he dislocated it during the end of that game. But I don't think they came out later saying it wasn't anything too serious. They said an MRI would come out later. Woj said an MRI would come out later.
Have we gotten that yet? I haven't checked.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's either nothing or it's really bad.
I don't think it's really bad because they said it didn't show much structural damage
to the bone. But if he tore his joints up, he's probably out for the season. If he tore his joints up, but if he didn't, it'll just be a couple weeks till it heals. So I'm hoping for a couple.
I'm sure, like a dislocated shoulder, he'll pop it right back in. He'll be fine.
You would think, but then they would have popped it back in yesterday. Like clearly, there's something more going on there, or else he wouldn't have ran off the court in agony. Because Julius does not show pain. He's a tough guy. For how much I've criticized him, I've never criticized his toughness. He's one tough cookie. So if he was not in agonizing pain, he would not have run off the court yesterday. So best case scenario, it's just a couple weeks and he comes back after the All-Star break and we chilling.
Yeah. And I got to say, it makes me a little nervous. He's been playing really well recently with his passing and his mindset. He's not really focused on scoring too much. He's taken a step back with how many shots he's been taking, which I really like. OG Anunoby is really, really efficient. I love the way that he's been playing on the defensive side and the offensive side. It seems like most of our points come off of turnovers, more or less. OG Anunoby had 6 by himself the other night. So this man is insane. He fits right in like a glove. I love RJ and Quickly. We still have to find that role player to kind of fill up our bench, but if that's the only thing we're really looking at, I think we'll be fine. But it makes me a little nervous that Julius is out because it makes me wonder, okay, who's going to back him up? Is it going to be Precious? Is Precious going to get more minutes?
I think it's just probably going to be more OG at the 4 and then Josh Hart at the 4 because you can't play any of our bigs at the 4 because none of them could shoot. So it's kind of unfortunate. We're just going to have to play small guys at the 4. which means more Quentin Grimes minutes, which I'm all about. Probably more Deuce minutes, maybe some Malachi Flynn minutes. The ramifications could be widespread. Or we'll just go sign Taj Gibson again for a couple weeks.
I mean, listen, I do like Malachi Flynn. Don't get me wrong. I like the way he played with us for a little bit, but he's not anything groundbreaking.
We'll just hope that Randall's not out for that long. But we playing great. I don't think it's a surprise that we played our best basketball once Randall finally looks like he may be starting to perhaps slightly turn a leaf and buy in. Just a little bit. I'm not getting ahead of myself. But he's been better.
That's a fair assessment. You know what? I'll respect you for that because I'm feeling the same way.
He's not just looking to shoot every time he touches the ball. There's plays where he's like, who can I actually get a shot for here? And it's like, wow, that's awesome. When he just hits OG in the corner for a three, it's like my mind just wants
the less of the time when he's driving into the paint, he actually, like when he was doing that to Miami yesterday when he was taking it in on Jaime Jaquez, he only prioritized the shots that he was able to take on the guys that he knew weren't able to hold him, which I really liked. Some shots were forced, some turnovers were missed. You'll still see like at least one thing where you'll see him get stripped for holding the ball a little too long. Like there's little flashes here and there, but you know what? I'll live with that if he's willing and showing to take less shots. So I've been happy about it.
Yeah, this is a very poorly timed injury. I mean, it's never a good time to have an injury, but unfortunate that just when he was playing his best basketball of the season, this happened. So hopefully he's good, but the Knicks are doing well. You talk about the Heat for a second. The Heat lost 6 in a row, and it's like part of me is like, damn, Miami's kind of washed. But the other part of me is like, I love the Terry Rozier trade for them. I think Terry just had an off game yesterday. I think that team's going to, like, the other part of me is like, this team is going to be fine. They're probably just coasting in the regular season. They'll just be a 6 seed, and they'll probably wind up going to the conference finals anyways.
I don't see it. I don't see it because here's the thing: like they have a good lineup with Terry Rozier, Jaime Jaquez, great talent. Jimmy Butler's goated as always. Bam Adebayo is amazing. I don't think they're better than any of us. I don't think they're better. When I say us, I mean the top 4. I don't think they're better than the Cavs. I don't think they're better than the Knicks. I don't think they're better than the Celtics or Milwaukee. Because let Philly?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Damn, he's sleeping on Philly. Philly's nice.
Once they hit the playoffs, you'll see, bro. They're going to plateau.
It's only a matter of time. Obviously, I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time before Embiid has the signature playoff run. It's only a matter of time. People said the same thing about Jokic, and then he cooked last year. This might be Embiid's year to cook. Maxey is a great player.
I'm praying for him, and I hope it works because – shit, I would hate Philadelphia to waste his legacy like that because he's a great player. He is the best player in the NBA as it stands today. He averages the most points. His numbers are insane, just to say the least. But I mean, if he doesn't win a chip, man, it's gonna be bad.
Hot take. I think I back Philly right now to go to the Eastern Conference Finals more so than Milwaukee.
Really? You know what? I have to agree. I'll say that because Milwaukee's
conference finals odds, Celtics are basically a lock, but Philly, I'd put them slightly ahead of Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee's defense is just too sus, and I don't think Doc Rivers is going to – obviously, Adrian Griffin really screwed their defense at the start of the year when they were just doing, like, random coverages, and then Brook Lopez and Giannis were like, hey, this ain't working. Let's do it the way we used to. He was like, okay, cool. So they've been better since then. I don't see Doc Rivers revolutionizing that defense, and I just don't see them being consistent enough in defense to win a 7-game series against a second-round opponent. I have them as a second-round exit, a tough second-round exit, a Game 6 or Game 7 second-round exit, which is still very good, but I would say most people probably have them higher than that. So that's my hot take is that I would back Philly more. I think Tyrese Maxey is going to be legitimate. There's nothing about his game that makes me think he can't perform in the playoffs. And, they got Tobias Harris, they got Covington, Batum. Those guys are all playing well. Kelly Oubre is underrated as heck. I could totally see Kelly Oubre having a couple 30-point games in the playoffs, just randomly.
Ooh, 30-point games is a hot take.
Maybe, but and they're going to be throwing double, triple teams at Embiid, double teams at Maxey. All Kelly Oubre got to do is just spot up, isolate, hit his own shot. I could see Kelly Oubre having some big playoff games for them.
When the Knicks did that to them, And it wasn't in Philadelphia, or was it in Madison Square Garden?
No, it wasn't Philly. It was in Philly.
We beat them
Oubre
by
was still
what?
coming back. He was still coming back from his injury. So I'm an Oubre believer. What can I say? I think Philly's in a good spot.
I can understand that, but bro, they weren't shooting the ball well, even when we were double, triple teaming.
It's one game, bro. I don't care about one game. That off game, it happens. They're still right.
I'm not sold on Philadelphia, and that's not to say, oh, I want Embiid on the Knicks. Like, I can care less about that right now, because I think right now, as it stands, I think we can make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
With a healthy team, the Knicks could absolutely get there. But there's going to be a lot of teams.
We got to find the right route for it. If we could see maybe Milwaukee and then Philadelphia.
We ain't beating Milwaukee. Milwaukee has our number. Milwaukee destroys us. No. We've lost to them 4 times this year, bro.
We beat them once. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we beat them 1 out of 4 games. We
already played 5 games against them?
I think so, yeah. 4 or 5, because we played them in the in-season tourney as well. We lost that game. Milwaukee snatches our chain, respectfully, for whatever reason.
And respectfully, I'm not trying to do anything.
Although we haven't played them with OG.
I think we have. I think the one game that we played them with OG,
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't?
No, that was before trade. That was a couple days before the trade.
I think it was a day or 2, actually.
It was it was like within that week, but yeah. Anyways, all-star starters got announced. I'm sure you have something to say about that, Omar.
I think we both have something to say about that. I think Jalen Brunson was
I'm just happy for all the starters. Congrats to everyone. I think Bron's the captain in the West. Who's the East captain? Is it Giannis?
I think it was Giannis and Bron. Yeah.
Is it Giannis and Bron? Yeah, okay. Congrats to them. It doesn't really matter because they're not drafting players this year, but good for them. Everyone in there is a worthy starter. So yeah, good for everyone. But I feel like you're gonna say something else.
I mean, bro, I don't think I have to say anything else. I think we can already tell. All right, the fans didn't do them right. That's all I can say about that. And I'm blaming y'all. I am blaming the fans for not voting for Jalen Brunson, because that is the one reason why he did not make the All-Star starters.
How many times did you vote?
Because of us.
How many times did you vote?
It was my fault, too. I only voted 3 times. It was my fault, too.
Calling out other people when you probably voted less.
No, I'm calling myself out, too. We got to do better. New York fans, we got to do better than that. How many times did you vote, Max?
I didn't vote. I didn't think it mattered.
If
you want to know my opinions on All-Star Weekend, go back and watch the last podcast. You'll see why I don't vote.
I mean, fair enough, but you're voting for the starters. That's different.
Yeah. I didn't think Jalen had a shot at being a starter anyways, to be fair.
Who?
But, I mean, he's been playing a lot better lately. He's not that he didn't play well, but yeah, listen, he'll be on there, so I don't really care. As long as he's an All-Star, I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, at the end
Dame's never. What's crazy is Dame's never started an All-Star game till this year. This is this first year starting an All-Star game, which is crazy to think about. But then
that is crazy to think about.
He's always behind, Curry and Harden in the West backcourt. It's like
but now Steph has fallen back massive.
I mean, I don't know, man.
I was a little surprised.
He dropped 46 last night. He was kind of cooking.
Yeah.
He hit that game.
Dropped 38. LeBron did better.
Bro, that was a classic game last night. I'm sorry. I feel bad I missed it because I got home late and I just missed it. But I saw the last bit of the second overtime where Curry hit that 3 off the pick, and then Bron drove and hit his free throws to prove all the doubters wrong that he can't shoot free throws, which is such a stupid narrative, I think.
Is that really a narrative?
Oh, the narrative has always been Bron doesn't want to go to the line with the game, at the end of the game because he's too scared to shoot free throws. That's a narrative.
Stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Bron settles for too many jump shots in the clutch because he doesn't want to get fouled and go to the free throw line because he's going to lose the game there. Bro. Shout out Skip Bayless. Although he did give Bron credit for making his free throws. I saw that on Twitter. He was like, "That's what we want to see from you, Bron. Hit those free throws."
People got to realize if LeBron wins one more championship, I don't think anybody cares. He's the greatest of all time.
I just hate when people discredit his jump shot. LeBron's got a good jump shot and his free throw's fine. He's not bad. He's not good at the line, but he's fine. He does enough. He can't do everything.
Right. He's not the best, but he's not the worst either. So
no one's ever gonna hack LeBron. He's never bad enough to be hack LeBron.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, Hack-a-Shaq was funny. Hack-a-Mitch was insane. I remember that.
Yeah.
And he improved his free throw shooting though, so I was proud of him for at least
What's
that.
more insane is the fact that the Warriors put Corey Joseph in the game in the last play. I think to defend D'Angelo Russell, they just does Corey Joseph get minutes for Golden State? Is that how bad it is over there? Am I just out of the loop? But they were like Corey Joseph and to guard D'Angelo Russell. I'm like, who? What? Why? I'm so confused because Russell was cooking. D'Lo has been cooking. He does not want to get traded.
That is true, and I think he won't be traded. I think D'Lo, maybe they'll work out a straight trade for where Atlanta really does want D'Lo. I don't know. I really hope he ends up coming to the Knicks though, because that is a player that I feel like we won't have to give up much because considering that it's a Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, and probably 2 picks, I would pay that for DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, well, we still remains to be seen where DeJounte will go. He could go to the Lakers. He could go, I guess not Miami now. They got Rozier, so Miami's good on point guard. Who's another big team that needs a point guard? He's like a contender who needs a point guard. I mean, you could argue Minnesota. Maybe.
I think Atlanta has been actively raising his price for him. That's why. Atlanta.
Okay. Well, and then maybe he won't get traded. Who knows?
I mean, it's stupid to think, but I don't know, man. I don't think Atlanta's got winning basketball going on over there, personally. I think it's a shit show and a half. Let's be honest. You got Trae Young. You got Jalen Johnson. That's it. Nobody else. Nothing's different.
Yeah, Hawks are in a rough spot. Another team that's kind of just in a rough spot right now, I feel like, is just Memphis. Memphis is down there. It's Memphis should be better than. I mean, they should be better than this if they didn't have all those injuries.
They don't have their starters either.
Yeah, Memphis is. It's they're worse record wise, but I feel bad for them because they're down Ja for the year. They're out Des Bane. Jaren Jackson Jr. has missed time. They're on their 85th guy, and the 85th guy is still keeping them in games.
Jacob Gilliard and
Jacob Gilliard
and GG Jackson.
They're keeping them somewhat competitive. They're not winning, but they're keeping them moderately competitive.
Yeah, I mean GG Jackson is nice. I do like him. He's only 19 and he's doing this, so good on him for stepping up to the plate.
Absolutely.
This is where they wish they had Kenneth Lofton.
Yeah. Where is Kenny Lofton right now? Is he G League? Philly. Is he out the NBA?
Philly.
Where he at?
Philly.
He's in Philly? I did not know that.
Bro, I saw him from the beginning. I was like, bro, we should draft him. He's so good. I swear he's
not that good.
No, I swear he's slept on. I swear. Mm-hmm.
Go look at his career stats right now and tell me he slept on.
Slept on. That's all I'm gonna say.
Probably
doesn't get the minutes that he needs.
I mean, you got to earn your minutes in the NBA.
Yeah, that's fair. And Memphis had a stacked squad, which I understand why he didn't get those minutes. But
this is baseball. There's a Kenny Lofton in baseball.
Kenny Lofton Jr. You have to put in Kenny Lofton Jr.
I see. So is he the son of that guy?
I have no idea. How old is Kenny Lofton?
It looks like he played in the 90s maybe. So honestly, maybe. All right, Kenny Lofton has played 40 games in his career and averages 4 points a game, 1.7 rebounds, and 1 assist on 33% from 3. That's your sleeper player, bro.
Yeah, dude. He doesn't get how many minutes per game?
Career minutes per game. No, not last 5 games. 7.
Dude, that's not enough minutes.
Yeah, but what's he doing to get more minutes? What here tells you he does? I feel bad. I don't want to just harp on Kenny Lofton. He looks like a good dude. He's a good player. He's a fine player. But you're acting like he's the next.
What are you gonna do in 7 minutes? What are you gonna do in 7 minutes? You can't heat up. You can't take a shot in 7 minutes sometimes. You know that, right? It's hard.
Yes, that's Grimes, but
yeah, exactly. That's what happened with Grimes. He was getting fucking frustrated with us because he was getting freaking 10 minutes a game. You can't heat up with 10 minutes a game.
Kenny Lofton, you know what? Maybe he'll be the next great player.
Give him backup minutes. Give him 15 minutes a game. You will see improvement.
Yes, you will see him go from 4 points a game to 5 points a game.
No, you'll probably see him go for 10 and grab 5 rebounds, at least. I'm telling you.
Maybe. I didn't know you were just a Kenny Lofton
huge.
fan.
Do you remember when he saw Victor Wembanyama and he's still like, I'm not saying he's better in any way, shape, or form than Victor Wembanyama, but he was able to bully him because he was just big. That's what they need.
When did this happen?
I'm pretty sure this happened in the G League. Not the G League, the Summer League.
So now we're referencing Kenny Lofton Summer League stats against Victor in probably like his second career.
So in his first game, first one, he dropped 21.
I could drop 20 points in the Summer League.
It was FIBA. It was the 2021 FIBA World Cup.
So Victor was what, 16?
No.
I mean, you know,
no?
I want to hear, who are some other players that are slept on? If you think Kenny Lofton is in the category of slept on, who else is slept on in your mind? Who's up there marinating in the Omar brain that you're like, damn, this guy should be getting more than 2 minutes a game? Who's the Omar sleeper list? Number 1 is Kenny Lofton. Who's 2?
Julian Strawther.
Okay. I can get a little more behind some Stroth. Give me the Stroths. You know, sell Stroth.
I like Strawther. I think he's a nice two-way player. I think he could be really good offensively. He's just got to get better in some departments. Like all these players have to get better in some departments. Obviously, that's how development works. But I don't know. I feel like a real other slept-on player, if I can put my bias on the Knicks real quick. No, I do like the way Miles McBride has been playing. He's been shooting really efficiently.
He has been.
And he's been stepping up to the plate defensively as well. So I really like him in his position right now. Oh, another one, Paul Reed.
Paul Reed is
nice. Paul Reed is nice.
Paul. Where is he?
Yesterday, right? Was it yesterday? 27th? Yeah, it was yesterday. 27th. He dropped 30 points, 13 rebounds, 2 steals, 66% from the field, and 50% from 3 because Embiid was out.
Hey, B-Ball Paul. They call him B-Ball Paul for a reason because he balls.
B-Ball Paul.
And he's undersized too for a center, but he just plays a physical game. He's like an old school kind of center.
Bro, my Twitter feed is full of fights. I gotta unfollow this account. I don't know what was put in my head.
one more sleeper player. One more
sleeper player. Ugh.
You gave me. There's 4, so we can do top 5 Omar slept on players. Who's 5th?
I do think Kelly Oubre is up there. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, so there's definitely some Philly bias in here. You named 3 Philly guys.
Who? Paul Reed. Paul Reed was nice. I didn't realize Paul Reed dropped 30 points the other night. But let me grab a Pistons player.
Just Google's the Pistons roster.
No, I'm just making sure because there's somebody on there. I can't remember his name, but I know his face.
I know who you're thinking. You're thinking Marcus Sasser, aren't you? Okay, so not Marcus Sasser.
Maybe. Yeah, no, Marcus Sasser. Yeah, you're right. No, it's Kevin Knox II. No, I'm playing.
Oh, yeah, totally.
No, Marcus Sasser. No, he's been nice too. I would like to get him. I think he fits our system real nice, to be completely honest.
Yeah, it would be nice. So yeah, there we go. There's Omar's 5 slept on players, all of which are in the Eastern Conference.
Really? I don't know. But no, I do think genuinely some of those players like Kenny Lofton are slept on. I just think they just genuinely just need a little more minutes. They need to be able to learn to control their body like the way that Julius Randle does. Flies his elbows around, uses his weight to his advantage. I think if they can do that and just learn to get into the post, they will be fine.
Yeah, all the offensive fouls in the world are going to be right there. So
you got to be selfish.
Yeah. So speaking of selfish, who do you think is going to be on the All-Star team? Not that has any real correlation, but who do you think is going to make it? We could do our unofficial All-Star ballots. Who do you got?
Do you want to build all-star teams?
How?
Let's take the pick the side that you want to take. Let's say I'll take the East, you take the West, and then we'll build our benches.
Okay, I got you. We could do that.
All right.
Little BT. We'll call this segment BTB builds.
BTB build session.
BTB builds the all-star teams minus the starters because they got announced already.
Yeah, minus the starters, even though Jalen Brunson should be there. But
well, then you get to put him on your bench, and I'm sure you're happy.
We'll like.
How are we gonna do that? I need to look a list up. We did not.
Yeah, I'm literally looking one up as we speak. All-star votes. Let's look up the voting.
Honestly, I just need to look at the standings. If I see the West standings, I'm good. So. All right. Do you want to go first with your first pick in the East?
I think it's obvious, Jalen Brunson.
Okay, so you're gonna go Jalen. Put that in the private chat. Type it in the private chat who you pick, so we can keep track of who we actually take.
Yeah. Okay. So Jalen is the 6th.
All right, Jalen. So Omar takes Jalen Brunson with his first pick. I'm just gonna go in order of how their teams are listed in the standings right now. Okay. So for my first, Shay's the starter this year, right?
Shea is the starter this year, so you have
I have Shea, Luka, Braun, KD, Jokic, right? That's that's my starters.
Yeah, I don't know why Anthony Davis wasn't selected. That's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like Davis could have definitely been in over KD. It's close. I mean, KD's had an awesome year as well, but yeah, it's a toss up. Okay, so for my first bench player, I'm gonna go number 2 seed in the West, Mr. Ant-Man, Ant Edwards. I mean, he showed flashes of being great in the in the offseason with Team USA. He was kind of the best player on Team USA. And so that was where I was kind of like, okay, Ant is really that nice. Like, he's coming out here. He's showing who he is on the international stage. He's playing great. He's like the number 1 player on this team. He was single-handedly keeping us in some of those games that we probably could have lost, but thanks to him, we didn't. But I was like, I'm starting to respect him, but let's see if he does this in the NBA. And now he's got the Timberwolves in the 2nd seed in the West. So absolutely all-star worthy. This is by far his breakout season. This is why Minnesota drafted him. His jump shot's coming along. He's an elite slasher. He's showing, they run the offense around him, and he just fits perfectly. He is like the prolific scorer that he was built to be out of college. So it took him a couple of years to get here, but he certainly has arrived in full force. And you can honestly, I'm sure some people made the argument for him to be a starter. I wouldn't go that far because of 2 guys named Luka and Shea. But Ant has had a fantastic season, and he's absolutely going to be the cornerstone of Minnesota. Wherever they go, wherever their future holds, it's going to be something around him as long as he wants to be there. So 100% worthy all-star, worthy first pick in my mind.
Okay, I got you. And for my second pick, I'm going to go with a forward with Paolo.
Ooh.
Banchero.
Giving Paolo his first all-star nod.
Yeah. Look, the person right after Joel Embiid here is Jaylen Brown. And while I think he is an all-star and while I think he does deserve it, I want to see somebody else, personally. Like, I think his game is good, but I think a lot of players on this list are a little better than him.
Can you talk about how you butchered the hell out of Paolo Banchero's name?
Paolo Banchero.
No, you spelled it P-O-A-L-O.
Yeah, I put the J by accident. It's a mistype.
You flipped the A and the O. It's not Paolo. You said Paolo Banchero.
Yeah, I flipped the A and the O, but the A is first and then it's O. It's P-A-O-L-O.
Yeah.
B-A-N-C-C-H-E-R-O. So yeah.
Are there 2 C's?
No, 1 C.
You said C.
But Paolo Banchero, that's my second pick.
Okay.
He's in there. We'll put him away from now. Paolo Banchero.
Okay.
I think he's been nice for Orlando. Orlando went on a nice little run earlier this season with him. So I do think he is going to be a solid pick for this team. I think he's better fit than Jaylen Brown because I feel like Jaylen Brown would need to be a starter. But I think Paolo Banchero has been really good. I think he's been really impressive. So that's kind of my thought logic behind that.
Okay. So we both started with a guard, then you took a forward. So I'm going to back you up and take another forward. I'm going to go for someone who's having a bit of an underrated season because he's one of many superstars on this team. But Kawhi Leonard should absolutely be an all-star this year. This is one of his best years overall. He's barely missed any time, which is impressive for him. And he's playing just like normal Kawhi whenever he's healthy. Like, dude's mid-range is unstoppable. He's got one of the flattest shots in NBA history, but it is so incredibly cash. Obviously, he brings it night in, night out on the defensive end. That's what he's best known for. But his offense with the Clippers, the Clippers take turns in who scores, which is why they're so darn good. But typically, Kawhi is kind of the go-to guy. He posts up, he plays physical, he gets rebounds, he just plays mistake-free basketball. And it's like, he's so fun to watch if he's not going against your team, because he is going to clamp your guys down. But if you're just watching as a casual, Kawhi has been great. Some people are going to say he's too old, he's washed, he's not there anymore. But he is, I'd say, probably been the most consistent player on the Clippers this year. So 100% a worthy all-star, one of many all-star appearances for Kawhi. And Edwards, I'm giving him his first nod. Has Edwards been an all-star? I don't think so. I think this would be his first all-star. This will be his first all-star.
Yeah, it would be his first all-star
nod. First all-star. So I'm giving Ant his first nod, and I'm giving Kawhi like his 10th nod, because Kawhi should 100% be there.
Yeah, I think Kawhi is there anyway, to be completely honest.
I think he will be. But, I don't know how they're going to rate the Clippers guys. How do they say, he's got Harden, he's got Westbrook, they're only the third seed, we'll see. But in my mind, Kawhi should be
right. I agree completely. I think Kawhi is solid. And I'm going to try to actually share my screen here so I can show both of our
BTB shares.
Yeah, I'm going to try right now. Okay, entire screen. Boom. So I just put it up there. Those are kind of the names we're choosing from.
Oh, I'm just choosing from any. I'm not going off that.
Oh, you're choosing from any?
I'm choosing from any. Yeah, I don't care what the fans voted. I'm taking my all-stars.
All right. Well, I'm gonna keep.
You can do however you want. I'm taking the best 12 or the best 7 other players in the Western Conference.
Okay. No, fair enough. I'll agree with you whether or not they're on this list or not.
Exactly.
But with my next pick in my draft, this is gonna be a little bit controversial. Trae Young. He's had an amazing year. But I have to go on who is winning basketball games. And that is the Cleveland Cavaliers. So with my pick, and the only star on Cleveland right now, Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is contributing to winning basketball games. Trae Young is simply not. I see his numbers. Yeah, they're great.
Why can't they both be on there?
Because I need only 2 guards for the bench.
But there's 7 bench spots, so you can repeat a position or 2.
Okay, maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see. But
I'm not hating on the Donovan Mitchell thing. I just think you're crazy if you don't put Trae Young on there with the season he's having. I don't care if they're winning or not. Like, there's no one else on the Hawks to support him. Trae is putting Wilt numbers up over there, getting them to whatever wins he can.
But he's not, and that's my point. So
do it all by himself.
It just looks like stat padding. Does it not?
No, because who else is going to score on that team? It's not his fault.
DeJounte Murray.
What?
DeJounte Murray. Hello. There's another person there.
He's been but he's been underwhelming. Like, you can't. I can't fault Trae Young for having a great season. It's like the same thing with Curry. So by that argument, Curry shouldn't be an all-star then. I shouldn't put Curry on my list. Mm. That's your exact argument, because the Hawks are better than the Warriors. So you're saying Curry's not on there?
I don't know.
Think about that.
Probably not. I mean, if I was, I don't know, maybe I'd put Curry at the end of my bench, personally.
So why not Trae? They're both having great seasons, and the Hawks are winning more than Golden State is.
We'll see what happens then. It just depends on how my roster is built. Who's the next pick in your draft?
All right. Next pick in my draft, like I said, I'm going in order of the standings. I'm going to go right back to the Los Angeles Clippers. I think Paul George should also be an all-star. I'm giving the Clippers 2 all-stars because Paul George is also deserving.
Okay.
Again, he's having a quiet season. He's not putting up the insane numbers night in, night out. But with George, it's always more than the numbers show. It's the defense, it's the playmaking that sometimes doesn't always get the assist, but he's just been the perfect cog in that offense. He's been probably their highest volume scorer, I'd say. He's had a lot of breakout games. He's had a lot of really good games. And he's had some quiet games because some nights James Harden's there. Some nights, Kawhi's going to be that guy. So it is tough to rate the Clippers, but again, I'm not going to fault PG for playing good system basketball. And you want to talk about contributing to winning? He's taken a step back at times so that the Clippers can continue to win. And, he can continue to rest and, manage his minutes, manage his shot attempts. While I think those are valid points, I would still give him the nod over some of the other guys simply because he has had those big games and we know that he could be doing this on a nightly basis. We've seen him do it on a nightly basis, but he's changed his role to fit winning basketball. And he's still putting up amazing stats. Don't get me wrong. What are Paul George's actual stats this year? Again, this is on a team that has, James Harden and Kawhi Leonard as well. Paul George this year is still averaging, if I can pull it up, 23 points, 5.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, shooting 46.5 from the field, 41.2 from three, which is insane, 90% from the line. An effective field goal percentage of 56% on a very winning team. Again, if Paul George wanted to, he could be up darn near 30 points. With that kind of efficiency, he could drop 30 night in, night out, but he doesn't because he wants to win. So shout out Paul George. He's still putting up all-star numbers. And the fact that he could be doing even better just speaks how good of a player he is. So PG and Kawhi are going to be on my West bench's backcourt for the all-star team.
All right. I agree with you there. I think Paul George has been having a great season so far. And hopefully the Clippers can beat the Cavaliers today because I want to solidify our spot in the 4th place, right? And if Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are able to beat Donovan Mitchell and the Cavaliers today, we are able to solidify that by at least 2 games. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to watch that game.
All right. Who are you picking with your 4th pick?
I'm going to go with an underrated player this year. I think he's been playing really well otherwise. Not a lot of people have been looking at him because he's been injured a lot recently. But just to go over his stats a bit, he's averaging 21 points on 48.8% shooting with 40.9% from three, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal a game. I'm going with Jimmy Butler.
Okay, so you're throwing Jimmy who coasts in the regular season, but he's coasting in your All-Star game.
I think so. I don't
hate it.
I just think we need a little more defense here. And Jimmy Butler does that for at least right now, right?
Yep.
So I'm taking Jimmy Butler. And while everybody on this list kind of deserves to be in the All-Star game, I'm not saying they don't, but I'm having a hard time picking Jaylen Brown right now.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and make my next pick so you have some time to kind of mull it over and to think about it.
Yeah.
With Denver, obviously Jokic is in there. He's starting as he should be. No one else on that team really strikes me. You could argue Jamal Murray, but he was out for a little bit of the season. For my pick, I'm going to go with another guard. I'm going to go with De'Aaron Fox from Sacramento.
Hey.
He hasn't had quite, he hasn't had quite the national media attention he had last year. I feel like last year he got a lot of attention because the Kings were good for the first time in a while. But De'Aaron has still had a very quiet, good season. I feel like I never hear people talk about Sacramento, but they still win a lot of games. And my goodness, if De'Aaron Fox is not one of the clutchest players in the NBA, I don't know who is. This guy, when you need a bucket down the stretch, he is giving you a bucket. He is giving you 27 points per game, 4 rebounds, which for a guy they list him at 6'3", he's 6'1" at tops. But for a guy his short, getting 4 rebounds in a game is great. 5.5 assists, doing exactly what he needs to. The only thing that jumps out at me with Fox is 73% from the line. That's weak. He needs to get that up. He should be shooting at least 80, considering that he shoots 47 from the field and 38.8 from 3, which is a good bit above average. De'Aaron Fox, he made the All-Star game last year for the first time. I think he's heading right back there this year. Absolutely one of the top guards in the West, one of the clutchest players in the NBA. Averaging close to 30 points a game, and no one's talking about him. But I'm going to give him the shot he deserves on my team.
Okay. I like it. I do indeed think that De'Aaron Fox deserves to be there. I think that's a solid pick. For my next pick, we're going to go back to the guard position here and pick up... You know what? Give me 1 second because I do like this player. He has been playing like an all-star, but there's been a lot of controversy in which he actually deserves it. And just by kind of looking at his numbers, unfortunately, it doesn't do the case. I was going to pick Derek White in this position.
Ooh, that would have been a controversial take.
Yeah, it would have been very controversial. I was going to pick Derek White, but I might actually have to go with Trey here. Just because he is the best player on this list so far. And
Tria. Omar
like,
Tria.
Tria. Trey.
Omar's spelling is getting exposed. Now he said Tay. Who is Tay Young? Who is Lil Tay Young?
Lil Tay Young is crazy. But no, Trey Young, I was kind of trying to avoid it. I don't like the Hawks. I don't like Trey Young. Being a New York Knicks fan, I think we could both agree on that. But
he's a hooper, though. He is a
hooper. That's it. If I'm building a team and he's on the bench, I wouldn't mind it. So, Trey Young, welcome to the squad.
All right, you got Trey. There's one guy that I'm considering putting on here, but I might leave him for a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and skip over the guy I'm thinking. I'll come back to him. For my pick, I'm gonna go Devin Booker. Again, Phoenix having 2 All-Stars. You could say it's questionable when they're only 6th, but Devin's had a fantastic season. He's been playing a lot of point guard. Obviously, he's not a natural point guard, but his playmaking is definitely better than I thought it would be. I think running him at point guard's got better than I certainly expected. I thought it would be a complete disaster for this team, but they've made it work. I don't think it's the best use of his skill set, but he's certainly, he's done an admirable job. The Suns are, kind of riding the ship behind him. He's been, I'd say maybe their most consistent player this year. I don't know. I mean, him and Durant have both had good years, so I'm going to go ahead and put D-Book on there. It's tough to be the number one on that team when you've got a guy named Kevin Durant, but he certainly is one of the most unstoppable one-on-one scorers in the game. When Durant's not there, he steps up. When Bradley Beal's not there, he steps up. He is perfectly comfortable dropping 30, 35. And he just had 62 the other night, I believe, right? 62 for D-Book. Yes. I believe he's coming off 62. So,
yes, he is.
I mean, as if there were any questions at all about whether Devin Booker deserves an All-Star or not, I think that game 100% put that narrative to sleep. He should be an All-Star regardless of the 62, but I think that put the league on notice. And this guy's still kind of good at the game of basketball. So give me D-Book. Give me Book Nation.
All right. Now,
so we're through what? 5 picks? Oh, we only have 2 more. Oh gosh.
All right. This next one is going to be very controversial. But just because I don't like what I'm seeing here, my next pick in my All-Star draft goes to Miles Turner.
What?
Yes, you heard me. Yeah, you heard me. 27.
That makes no sense.
I'm going to pick Miles Turner.
That makes not a bit of sense in the slightest.
Why?
Over Bam? Over Porzingis? Over Randall?
Over Randall?
You putting Miles Turner, bro.
Miles Turner is averaging more than... Oh, no, he's not. I lied.
Miles Turner's averaging 17 and 7. I mean, that's good, but he's not an all-star. He's not sniffing an all-star.
I don't know. I like his game.
That's an L pick. There's no way you're putting Miles. This isn't even his best season in the NBA by far.
I'm taking Bam Adebayo. Yeah, that was
okay. Yeah, put Bam. I'm okay with Bam.
I'm taking Bam Adebayo. He's been playing really well.
Put Bam Adebayo in there, please.
Yeah, Adebayo. What is wrong with the way I spelt it?
No, I'm saying put Bam Adebayo in there. Don't even. Yeah, no, Miles Turner. That's gonna have to be.
I spelt it right. I spelt it right, Max.
I'm not talking about spelling. I just can't believe that you actually said with a straight face.
Look, though, it's just like he's been averaging less in this couple game winning streak than Miles Turner. I don't know. I like Bam. I just think he's gonna start regressing soon. Is that a bad take? 26 years old.
Yes, and we're also not talking about regressing. We're talking about who's an all-star right now.
Maybe he's the next Hassan Whiteside.
He's already stopped. He's so much better than Hassan Whiteside ever was. Don't even.
I don't know. Miami Heat culture did turn Hassan Whiteside into an all-star though, so good for them.
Did he make an all-star team? Did he really?
I don't think so.
Yeah, Bam has made multiple, or he's made an all-star team already. Like, no, all right.
Moving
on.
I do want to give you guys a live update of the OKC Detroit game. It is 31-24. OKC in Detroit, and it's the end of the first. OKC is up top. They should be killing them right now. It's a pretty close game, so I'm not surprised.
All righty. For my next pick, I'm going to go ahead, slide it down to Lakers land. Anthony Davis, I can't believe it took me this long. It's just because the Lakers are farther down in the standings. But Anthony Davis is an all-star without a doubt. He should be top 10 in MVP voting. He probably should have been a starter over Durant, but and who cares? He'll be there no matter what. AD, when he's healthy, still one of the best players in the NBA. Two-way monster, just has the potential and has shown it at times to just dominate a game and control it both ends of the floor. Probably the best rim protecting or paint protecting big in all of basketball right now. Has the jump shot, has the three-point shot, still playing at elite level next to Bron. He really does, as much as Bron is still the headliner of the Lakers, Davis is, their offensive and defensive engine night in, night out. He is the guy that they are building around. He's putting up the numbers. Him and Bron are the only reason why the Lakers have any wins whatsoever. So I have no problem putting them both on the team despite the Lakers as an organization struggling. I'm not going to fault Davis for having a bad coach. I'm not going to fault Davis for being hurt. All I know is when he is healthy and playing, he is excelling at the game of basketball.
100%.
So if he's not an all-star, that would be a crying shame, but I think he will be.
100%. I agree with you there. I think Anthony Davis is well deserving of an all-star spot. I just think the Lakers are doing him dirty.
Yeah, like I said, the Lakers, there's definitely some trouble out there in Lakerland, but
at least they're not in New York because it's going on very good over here. So we don't need them. We don't need them.
All right. So this is your last pick then. This is your last pick.
My last pick here. I picked Jalen Brunson at the 6-man, Paolo Banchero, Donovan Mitchell, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and then Trae Young. Trae Young is going to be a reserve. So
he's still on the team. Remember, 12 guys make the team. So he's
still on the team. So with my last pick of the 2024 Fantasy Max Omar Draft, All-Star Draft, Omar selects Tyrese Maxey.
Ooh, you're giving Tyrese Maxey the nod. His first ever
Maxey the mod, yes.
All-Star game.
Do I think Derek White is good? Of course. Do I think Drew Holiday is good? Of course. Do I think LaMelo is? Hell yeah. Is LaMelo an all-star yet? No. DeMar DeRozan? Yeah, he's all right. Is he an all-star? Not anymore. So my best option here has to be Tyrese Maxey.
I mean, listen, Tyrese has had a really good season.
Mm-hmm.
He is emerging as, a legit running mate to Embiid. That's why I said I back That's why I said I back those guys, or I back the 76ers to do really well this year in the conference finals. So
right.
You can't argue with the Maxey.
So apparently I'm looking at the Eastern Conference front court. What's it called?
Voting?
How do I zoom in? Yeah, I'm trying to zoom in here. It's not letting me zoom in. But if I look in really closely.
Why do you have this up? No one can read this.
Yeah, I know. This is absolutely insane.
Well, you go ahead and read
Forget it. Yeah,
I'm just going to go ahead and do my last pick. I waited till the very end to put this guy in because his team is so bad. But he is the only reason why Golden State has any wins. He's an all-time great. Steph Curry is an all-star. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh, you just throwing him in, huh?
I know Golden State's bad, but goodness gracious, Steph Curry is still an absolute – he is him. He's averaging 27 points on 45 from the field, which for a guard that takes as many threes as he does is insane efficiency. Like always, there's nothing new from Steph. Still shoots 92 from the free throw line, still very high in efficiency. Averages 3 turnovers a game, which is a little bit higher than you want to see. But when you get elite Steph Curry play, you take that. And he's been durable as well. He's been playing night in, night out for Golden State. It's a rough situation over there. The dynasty is ending basically, but right now, Steph Curry still deserves to be an all-star. You can't tell me he's not a top 20 player in basketball right now. He just dropped 46 last night as well against LeBron James. So Steph is going to be on my team. I honestly could have started him if it wasn't for Luka and Shea just being that darn good, but there's no shame in coming off the bench to those two. And Steph is still a top 5 point guard in basketball. So he was always a lock. I was never considering not putting him on the team, but since I'm going in kind of conference order, he just happens to be the last pick for me. But Steph, 100% all-star worthy.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think all these picks were really, in reality, I think more or less they're going to end up like this. I don't think they're not going to end up like this, right?
Yeah, I mean, a couple guys that I would like. I would love to put Lowry in the All-Star game. It's just a little touch and go. He's close. Maybe I give Lowry a reserve because he has had a good season. Again, not as kind of had a quiet season last year because obviously last year was in Utah in the All-Star game, so everyone was like, get Lowry in the game, and he deserved it. I'm not trying to say he didn't deserve it. 24 points a game this year on, I believe, damn near 50% from the field, which is great. That's what you want to be seeing from him. He's also giving you about – how many rebounds a game is he giving you? He's giving you like 8 rebounds a game, I think, and a good amount of assists per game as well at like 2 or 3. So he's a reserve for me. I can throw him in there. You could argue Towns as well. Towns is close, but I just can't give him that nod. Towns is up there. And then, I could also say Zion. I feel bad I didn't give the Pelicans any All-Stars because they've been playing great, but Zion's kind of just in like that super close category. So maybe if one of my guys can't play, I'll throw in like a Lowry or a Zion in there. They can have some fun.
I'm sorry. I'm going through the guards list. I see Daquan Jeffries in here.
Oh, absolute all-star.
He's the last one with 132 votes, 128 fan rank.
Nice.
7 media votes.
The media loves Daquan Jeffries. We all love Daquan Jeffries.
I just wanted to, I'm sorry, I pulled this up for a reason. I wanted to talk about just the comparison from Damian Lillard and Jalen Brunson here, because I don't think people understand how close this race actually was, right? So player total votes for Damian Lillard was 61 to Jalen Brunson 78. Player rank, Jalen Brunson's number 3 to Damian Lillard's number 4. Fan votes. Damian Lillard got 2,236,000 and Brunson got 1,452,000. See, so your vote mattered. Your vote mattered.
All my 8,000 or 800,000.
Fan rank 5 to Lillard's 3. Media votes 48 to 9 Damian Lillards. That explains why nobody was happy when they were bringing up Damian Lillard. They were all shocked. That's why, because almost everybody voted for Jalen Brunson. I just feel like that's the case. Media rank number 5 to Jalen Brunson's 2, and then a weighted score 3.7 for each of them.
All right.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, it is what it is. We'll see who makes the All-Star game, and we'll be here again next week to react to the All-Star bench again. I'd imagine it'll probably look pretty similar to us, maybe 1 or 2 changes. But yeah, that was the official BTB builds, the first ever BTB build segment. We built the All-Star benches.
All-Star benches, yes.
Yeah.
What?
Is there anything else you wanna hit on, Omar, before we wrap this show up for the week?
There was one more thing I did want to touch on. Just on like the Clippers really quickly.
Okay. We did talk about the Clippers with Kawhi PG.
Right. No, I understand. I want you to kind of break it down a little more for us here, because I'm still not sold on the Clippers. Do I think they're a solid contender for the playoffs? Probably. Do I think they're going to win the finals? No. Do I think they're going to get past the Lakers? I don't know. Do I think they're going to get past Denver? I don't know.
I would say the Clippers are one of 2 teams in the West that I would back to win a championship. Them and Denver. Yeah. I back the Clippers to win a title. To win a title. I think, OKC could absolutely go far in the playoffs. Minnesota could go far in the playoffs. Sacramento could go far in the playoffs. There's a lot of teams that could go far. But in terms of having enough to win 16 playoff games, I think the Clippers are probably one of 2 teams out West that could legitimately do that. And the only other team there is Denver. So personally, I'm a believer in the Clippers. I think since they've figured this out, they've basically been unbeatable. And if those guys stay healthy in the playoffs, they're going to get Zubac back as well. They've been dealing with injuries basically on and off the whole year. So once you put Zubac in that lineup, you got solid players off the bench in Terrence Mann, Westbrook. That team is going to be scary. And we know Ty Lue can coach a team to a championship. So it just feels like things might be lining up for the Clippers this year. You know, the Lakers, there's 10 million and one reasons why the Lakers are struggling right now. And it feels like the Clippers are just better than them in damn near every single category, other than the fact they don't have Bron and AD. But they've got Kawhi and Paul George and James Harden, which is a hell of a big three, even this late in their careers. One hell of a big three. So I think they are 100% legit. Like, they look like the best team in basketball when they play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. I do think so too. I remember earlier this week, I'm sorry to get off topic, but I remember earlier this week somebody said Miami was now better because they had Terry Rozier. They were better than the Knicks. They said, well, they're better than the Knicks.
I mean, listen, I really like the Terry trade. I know I've said this before, but I like the Terry trade. He's going to fit well. Miami's needed a pure point guard, someone who can run the offense, pass the ball around. Even yesterday when Rozier wasn't scoring, he was moving the ball. He was getting people open looks. So Rozier fits in well. He can give them the scoring when they need to. He's not a defensive guard, but you've got Bam, you've got Jimmy. Spoelstra's a good defensive coach. That team's defense I'm not too worried about it. Lowry wasn't giving you much on either end of the floor anyway, so they got him for cheap. He fits in well, solid age. He's not going to, he's not too old. He's not too young. He's been there, done that. He's in his prime. I think this is as good of a situation for Terry as any. So I think Miami definitely got better. Does that make them contenders? Probably not, but I certainly like the trade. It's a low-risk trade for them, but high reward if he winds up showing up in the playoffs.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm sorry, one more thing to kind of end off the podcast completely. I'm sorry. I know we got to fill in a few more minutes here. I'm sorry.
One more thing, and then we'll wrap it up.
All right. So, two teams: Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks. Philadelphia is 29-15. The New York Knicks are 29-17. Do you think we have a good chance in passing up Philly in the standings?
In the standings, maybe. I mean, it depends. It depends on this Randall thing. It depends on the trade deadline. Ask me after the trade deadline. We got to see what these teams do. It seems like the Knicks are planning a move. If Randall's out for an extended period of time, that's going to impact our trade deadline. Is Philly going to make another move, to kind of bolster their bench or, maybe get more positional fits? So it's tough to say right now. Ask me again in 2 weeks, and I'll probably
ask you again in 2 weeks. I think we can. I think it's going to be a little harder with Julius Randle out a little bit. I do think so. But we have shown over the past, 2 weeks that we've been on this streak, that we can fill in and throw in players that will make the extra plays. Precious Achiuwa has been playing amazing. Miles McBride has been shooting lights out. Quentin Grimes has been on and off, but he's hot. So I think we can. I think we have a solid breakthrough that we can do here. We do need Philadelphia to lose a little bit. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I am saying it's going to take a little one or two losses there. And they're already on a 2-game losing streak. So I am a little happy that they lost a little bit. They're not going to lose against Portland, let's be honest. But I'm a little excited because I do think we have a solid chance to really make an effort. Portland, Golden State, Utah, Brooklyn, Dallas. They'll lose one.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely we got a good schedule coming up, so hopefully we'll be able to capitalize on that and we won't miss Randall too much.
Yeah, hopefully. We got a little bit of a stretch, so I'm excited to see what we can do in that time. But you know what? I think we got to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I know we're not without Earl, but Earl is here from another place. He is here watching us always. So just so you guys know, he's watching you guys too. So make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to turn on those notifications so you can get your NBA content. We are the unbiased opinions here, except if you're not a Knicks fan. In case that's not the case, then get the fuck out. No, I'm fine. You stay here, do all you want. But I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate everybody being here and watching our videos. And peace.
Yup, I got infinity money. Yup,